Hello guys and welcome back to our channel. So today's video we're going to be talking about the box model. So if you haven't seen the last videos, you might know what is a padding, what's a border, and what's a margin. And you see over here that whenever you create an element and when you specify your values, it's going to be like this. The content and surrounding, if you mention padding, it's going to have some padding around it. If you have a border, it's going to have some border, and then a margin, and that's going to have around the element. Okay, so content of the box where text and images appear. Padding is clears an area around the content. The padding is transparent. A border that goes around the padding and the content. Margin is outside the border, and the margin is also transparent. So here they have demonstrated as the box model. You can see over here that we have a box model that wraps around every HTML element. So we got some content inside of this box model, and we got some content. Now we have specified the width of the box. The width of the box is 300 pixels. So if you don't give width, then it's gonna take up the entire width. Okay, so if you don't mention the width, you can see that it's taking up the entire width of the page. So we do mention the width, and then we run the program again, and you can see over here that this is 300 pixels width. And then the border, you can see over here that is 15 pixels, and outside of the margin you have 20 pixels, and inside the padding is 50 pixels. Okay, so over here this is the content, and this is the border. The border is 15 pixels, and then we got the padding. Okay, so the padding is over here. This is the padding, and this is the margin. We got the margin for about 20 pixels. And over here you see when you set the width and the height property of an element, you just set the width and height of the content area. To calculate the total width and height of an element, you must also include its padding and borders. So how do you do that? So for example, if I set my width to 320 pixels and my height to 50 pixels, then the padding 10 pixels and border 5 pixels, then my width would be 350 pixels. So there's a legit increase of 30. Over here you can see there's an image, and over here we have a div tag. Now this div tag is the total height of this element is 80 pixels. The width of this element is also 350 pixels. I'm gonna say why is it? Because you see over here they've given the padding as 10 pixels. 10 pixels, and the width is 320 pixels, and the border is 5 pixels. Okay, so the padding on the padding, okay, the padding and the border together would be 15 pixels, and we're going to add up another one, so that would be a 15 pixels. So the width would be so it'll be 30. So there we go, 30 should be increased in the width. All right, now when I'm talking about the height, it's 50 pixels, but actually it's also 30 pixels increase, because you got 5 pixels increase. I mean 5 pixels as border and 10 pixels in the padding. So that would be 15 plus 15, 30 as well. So for the width, we will be taking the left padding and left border and right border. And for the height, we'll be considering this 15 as the top, so the top and the bottom, top padding, bottom padding, and top border and the bottom border. Okay, so over here they've given the calculation 350 320 pixels is the width of the content, and 20 pixels is being added from the left and the right padding because each padding is a 10 pixel, and 10 pixels is from the left border and the right border, and 50 pixels is the height of the content, 20 pixels is top padding and bottom padding, and 10 pixels is from top border and bottom border. That's a total of 80 pixels. Alright, so when I said 15, I just meant the top padding. Let's say it's 10, and the border is 5 for top, so the total is 15. I just set it that way, so you can just calculate it however you want to. So the total width of the element is calculated like width and the left padding and the right padding and the left border and the right border. And the total height of an element should be calculated like this: the height and the top padding and bottom padding, the top border and the bottom border. So drag and drop the correct values to set a width of 300 pixels, okay, and a padding of 20 pixels, and the green border of 10 pixels. Over here, if you want to calculate the total width of the element would be 300 pixels plus the left padding and the right padding, so that would be 40 pixels. So it would be 340 pixels in total, just with the padding. And if you want to calculate with the border as well, the 10 pixels is per so 10 pixels and 10 pixels. One is for the left side and another one is for the right side. So that would give me 360 pixels. So the total width of the element would be 360 pixels. Now next topic we're going to talk about is CSS outlines. An outline is a line drawn around an element that is outside the element border. For example, you can see over here, the element has a black border and a green outline with a width of 10 pixels. Okay, an outline is a line that is drawn around the element. You can see that is outside the border to make the element stand out. So you need to remember that the border and outline are completely different. The outline will be drawn outside the border. Okay? So, and you should also remember that the dimensions of the outline will not affect your height and the width. So for example, over here I've given with a width of 10 pixels and also I've given a green outline, and the total width of the pixel will not be changed because of adding an outline to an element. And you also need to remember that it may overlap with the other content. Okay, so we got here specific properties like outline style, the color, the width, offset, and also a shorthand property. And it's similar to your border style where you have dotted, dashed, solid, double, groove, ridge, inset, outset, none, and hidden. Where you simply use outline style to get it. So you can see over here we got a lot of styles, and I'll just show you. You can see over here this is a dotted line, dashed, solid, double, and you got the groove, the ridge, insert and offset. So you guys want to see this very clearly, you can see my border video where I've increased the size and showed you guys about it. Now let's move to further down. And yeah, over here they have used the drag and drop the correct property and value to create a dotted outline. Okay, so I'll take outline style and we should create a dotted. Yeah, it's correct. So now let's go ahead and talk about outline width. See over here, we got thin, medium, and thick. So we're using these words over here, like outline width is thin, medium, and thick. You can also specify in pixels, centimeter, em, or whatever. So when you're using thin, it typically looks like a 1 pixel. When you're using medium, it looks like 3 pixels. And when you're using thick, it looks about 5 pixels. Drag and drop the correct values to create a red solid outline with a thin width. So we need to have a style that should be, the color should be red. Oh, sorry, the style. The style should be solid and the color should be red. Okay, and the width should be thin. And I'll also show you guys this one so you can see the difference. You see over here, this is a thin line, this is a medium, and a thick one, and the 8 pixels. So in the paragraph, we have created 4 classes, ex1, ex2, ex3, and ex4. And we have, for the paragraph overall, like for the entire paragraph, we have kept the padding to be 5 pixels, the outline style should be solid, and the outline color to be green. And for each class, we have separately took the width to be thin, medium, thick, and 8 pixels. Now let's talk about the outline color. So the outline color property is used to set the color of the outline. It can be anything like name, like you can specify it like name. You can specify it using hex values, RGB, and HSL. Okay. And you can also perform invert. An invert refers to a color inversion. That means the outline will be visible regardless of your color, regardless of whatever color is your background. See over here that we got invert. Now I'm going to change the background color, the body, and I'm going to change the background color to be white. Oh, it's already white. Alright, let's turn it to black. Oh, I don't see it. Like, I mean, I couldn't see that. Okay guys, so the invert didn't work over here because it's not the control of the user, it's actually the control of the browser. So if browser thinks, okay, this is visible, then it will not invert the color of the outline. And also remember that invert is only available for outline color. Okay. In simple words, the outline is for highlighting specifically the elements or to just highlight and show the elements. To be more precise, what's an element? Let's take a photo frame. Let's take a photo frame. This is the frame of the photo. Okay, this is the frame of the photo. And let's say that the frame has like a golden shimmer. I mean, a golden color over that, highlighting the frame, but it's actually not taking up any space. It's not moving your elements. It's not doing anything. It's just an overlap over the border, over the frame. It doesn't really do anything. It just highlights and shows that the frame just highlights the frame and doesn't really get onto this, doesn't really adds up to the content or doesn't move anything, just highlights or what's there. Another one is called hex values, and we know that what hex value is. You can just say a color. You can set it also using RGB, HSL values. Define the color of the element's outline. It's the outline color. You see over here, outline color will define it. Now let's go to outline shorthand. So you can see over here, this is the shorthand for your outline. So you can see over here we got dash, the dotted red, and then we also have some, pixel values, and then the style, and then the color. You can also use thick, and then you can use thin, medium, and then the style of your outline, and then the color. Okay, so you can use the outline width first on the style, and then you can use the color. You can also simply use the style. You can use style and color. You can use width, style, and color. The width can be even pixels or thick and thin, and like that. And also remember that you can actually use, I'm going to use a border. So you can actually create a border. Let's say I'm going to keep it a bit more visible. So it's going to be medium. And then I'm going to have it solid and red. So you can have a border to be medium, thick, or thin as well. Okay. And let's start with this one. CSS outlines with rounded corners. The border property is used to add the border radius. So you can also use the same for your outline as well. So you can see over here, outline dash, we got a border radius of 8 pixels. Here 5, 7, 5, 8, and 10. Which of the following is a valid shorthand declaration for a 3-pixel solid red outline? The first one, you should specify the width of your outline, and then uh you have to specify the style, and then the color. Yeah. All right, let's talk about outline offset. Here we go. Outline offset property adds a space between the outline and the border or edge of an element. The space between an element and its outline will be transparent, and the following example specifies an outline of 15 pixels outside the border edge. See over here, we got outline offset, and you can see the transparent space that we got in between the border and the outline. And you can see in the code as well that the border is 1 pixel solid black, and the outline is solid red, which is 3 pixels, and it's leaving a space between the border. Alright. Shows the space between the element border, and it's transparent. So the outline offset is set to 15 pixels. That means the outline of 15 pixels is outside the border edge. So when we're giving it outline offset to be positive, it's actually placed outside the border. But over here, you can see when I give a negative value over here, it's placing it inside. See over here, this paragraph has a black border and a red outline -5 pixel inside the border edge. What does the outline offset property do? It adds a space between the outline and the edge or border of an element. You can see these are all of the outline properties that are available: outline color, outline offset, and outline style, and outline width. The next topic that we're moving on is to text. Text color. CSS has a lot of properties when it comes to styling and formatting a text. You can see over here, this is text formatting. The text is styled with some of the text formatting properties. The heading uses the text align, text transform, and some color properties. The paragraph is indented, aligned, and the space between characters is specified. The underline is removed from this colored. Try it yourself link. Oh my god, there's so many things. Let's go. Let's check it everyone out. The first thing that we're doing over here, let's see the HTML tags. So we've got a div tag over here, and inside of the div tag we have got a heading tag, and inside we got heading, a paragraph tag, and an anchor tag. Anchor tag is for the links, and then write yourself link and div. Inside the heading tag, we have got the text formatting, and inside the paragraph, we have got some pretty good stuff, like the text formatting, and then we got over here some target, a text decoration. For text decoration is given none, so that the underline is removed. Also, we have given a color for the link in the styles. And for the paragraph, we've given a text indent 50 pixels and text align to be justified, and we've given also some letter spacing. Now, this might be very confusing because we have never seen this, but in this following lesson, we'll see these. Okay, the border padding is as usual. You have already learned it in our previous lectures, but these things are new. Text align, text transform, color, text indent, text align, and letter spacing. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is the color property, which we already know. The color is setting the color of your text. Okay, not background color, not the color of your element, but color. Color property is just the text or the content to set the color of the text values inside your element. So just specify your element and give the property color and whatever color you want to set your text to. Let's try it. You can see over here, this is HTML tags that we got. Heading 1, heading 2, the paragraph tag, and another paragraph tag. Over here, we'll choose the body to have the color blue. And we've only styled H1 and H2, and remember we didn't style the paragraph tags, but we did style the body tags. We've told the body tag that whatever content, whatever text I got inside of the body to have the color blue. And H1 and H2 overrides this property and puts its own colors over here as we have specified it in the specifier. So I've specified H1, so the color green, so my heading would be color green, and my H2 would be the color red. But as I didn't specify any colors for P, and it wouldn't take the default value of black as well, it's going to take the value of the color blue that I mentioned in my body tag. Next, text color and background color. In this example, we've defined both the properties, the background color property and the color property, to give you a good difference of what they both do. You can see over here we've got the body as background color to be light gray, and you can see the entire body is now gray color, light gray color, and the color to be blue. So the body tag, which has a text content, it's going to change that color to blue. The H1 tag has a background color of black and the color to be white. You notice the background color of the H1 tag is to black color and the text content inside of it is the white color. Now the div tag. Now the div tag background color would be blue and the color would be white. So you can see over here, whatever content is inside the div tag, it's in the white color and the background color is in the blue color. Alright. Let's go here. Which property is used to set the color of the text in CSS is what we call the color property. Specifies the color of the text. So if you guys enjoyed this video, we'll see the remaining topics about the text tomorrow. Thanks for watching.